As we lie down comfortably in Shavasana with gently closed eyes, we come into Kaya Sthiryam, just what we do when we are in seated positions. Shavasana, the corpse pose, is a lying position. It is used as a preparatory practice to teach the students how to breathe correctly in a relaxed state. It also helps in becoming more aware and more intimately aware of the respiratory processes. So in this Shavasana now, consciously take awareness of cool air going into the nostrils and warm air coming out. As you inhale and exhale, and take awareness on your breath, notice how each part of the body gets absolutely relaxed, from the muscles of the limbs to the eyelids, tongue, lungs, and abdomen. Try to practice on a even surface, slightly hard if possible, and flat. A folded blanket or a very slim pillow is also all right under the head if there is any discomfort in a completely flat surface. Doing Shavasana with breath awareness helps reduce physical and mental strain, brings emotions back to balance. Fatigue of all kinds, BMR, that is the metabolic rate, the basic metabolic rate, pulse rate, and blood pressure all normalize with a comfortable Shavasana. Shavasana gives a complete relaxation to the body, soothes the mind and the nervous system, reduces basal metabolic rate, that is BMR. So, in cases of physical and mental fatigue or tension, insomnia, anxiety, neurosis, phobias, stress-related diseases like asthma, diabetes, peptic ulcers, colitis, angina pectoris, also in high blood pressure, tachycardia, and hypothyroidism. Shavasana with breath awareness is extremely healing and reverses these problems. Now start breathing in Ujjayi. Bring the head down a little so that in Shavasana the chin is towards the chest. Let the notch go towards the collarbone center. And start Ujjayi as you rub inhaled and exhaled air in a friction to make a soft sound. With closed eyes, bring the mind's eye to the throat pit. Continue. Bring forth the multiple benefits of the combinations of Shavasana with Ujjayi. For hypo and hyperthyroidism, for respiratory disorders, constant cough, cold, and mucus in the throat pit, allergic conditions, asthma, bronchitis, hyperacidity, gas, acid refluxes, fatigue, both mental and physical. Ujjayi needs to be practiced in Shavasana or in a seated, comfortable pranayamic posture. In this Shavasana and in this Ujjayi, we introduce breathing against the flow, Viloma Pranayama. So we inhale in Ujjayi and exhale one third, one third, one third. इसी शवासन में हम विलोमा प्राणायाम करेंगे. उज्जय में सांस लेंगे, सांस छोड़ते वक्त वन थर्ड वन थर्ड वन थर्ड ही छोड़ेंगे. Keep soft, gentle, subtle retentions. Don't use force. And in this Shavasana, we are practicing Viloma Pranayama. breathing against the flow, making sure that we don't rush the next one. See how this pranayam develops conscious breathing and an ability to use our lungs fully. It is extremely revitalizing once completed and empties the lungs very, very systematically in 3 sections. It is like visualizing a full glass and emptying bottom first, middle next, and brim last. When the lungs call for air with every inhalation, inhale in one long, smooth breath to let the lungs fill deeply. Last 2 rounds, breathing against the flow, Viloma Pranayama. As soon as we discontinue the practice, we start with bhav pranayam anulom vilom. So we don't use our hands. अपने हाथों को use ना करें और नाड़ी शोधन प्राणायाम शुरू करें. अनुलोम विलोम without retention. Inhale from the left nostril, take awareness at the mind's eye, bhumadhya. Exhale from the right. Inhale from the right nostril, exhale from the left. Pausing once again where the ladies have their bindi. Continue. Alternate nostril breathing, armless, breathing against the flow. Sorry, Anulom Vilom Pranayama. Now, very mindfully, in a reverse count, descending order, 5 Last, Anulom Vilom Pranayam, Bhav Pranayam, with the mind's eye, not using the arms. Give yourselves the gift of this awesome combination for multiple benefits to settle a hyper mind, to further relax. Don't worry about falling asleep. On reaching number one in a descending order with full concentration, do the same last one more round, Bhav Pranayam in Shavasana in Ujjayi for Anulom Vilom. Contracting the throat pit, consciously take air in from the left nostril. Pause at the eyebrow center, lungs are full. Exhale from the right, lungs are empty, pause. Inhale from the right, lungs are full again. Exhale from the left. Only one round. And we prepare now for Brahmari Pranayam, one which calms the mind, soothes the nerves, reduces blood pressure, increases a very gentle pranic energy into the ear, nose, throat area. We inhale fully in Ujjayi, plug our ears close with our index fingers and do humming sound exhaling. Totally 3 rounds. On finishing 3 rounds of Brahmari Pranayam, we bring our hands down. We bend our knees, keep feet hip width apart, lift our t-shirts or tops or kurtis and place our right palm on our navel. हम अब घुटनों को मोड़ेंगे, पैरों को हिप डिस्टेंस अपार्ट रखेंगे और अपने दाएं हाथ की हथेली अपनी नाभि पे रखेंगे. We now start abdominal breathing. Inhale, inflate the abdomen like a balloon. Exhale, bring it back to normal. Keep the inner thighs touching each other. Try not to have too much height under the head by way of more than one cushion or pillow or folded mat. Abdominal breathing. Bring a good release to all the tensions in the visceral organs of the abdomen. Inhale, सांस लीजिए और लीजिए, बलून की तरह इन्फ्लेट करें. Exhale, slowly, धीरे से सांस छोड़िए. पेट से सांस पर सांस की क्रिया चालू रहे. अपने फेफड़ों में कोई भी हवा ना जाने दे, अपने फेफड़ों से हवा ना छोड़े, सिर्फ पेट से. शांत सरोवर आसन कहते हैं इसे. सरोवर पेट है. थाइस को टच करें. Convert this to yogic breathing now. Inhale, inflate the abdomen. Inhale more, inflate the lungs, the entire thoracic area. Inhale more, make hollows in the clavicles. Exhale non-stop. Yogic breathing चालू रहे. पेट को फुलाए. Thoracic, full lungs और intercostal muscles को expand करें. Collarbones के पास hollows है, वो और भी बढ़ाएं. कंधों को हल्का सा ऊपर लें और नॉन स्टॉप कंधों को रिलैक्स करते हुए सांस छोड़ें. Continue. This is yogic breathing is the only pranayam where the gaze moves from the abdomen upwards to the lungs and finally to the collarbones. In most pranayams, the gaze remains the same. For Ujjayi, the throat pit. For Bhastrika, the bellows breath, the lungs. But in Bhav, Anulom, Vilom, Pranayam and yogic breathing, the gaze moves. Gazes are called drashtis. Pranayams are generally practiced with eyes closed, except Unmani or certain mudras which we practice. The mindless mudra with open eyes. Gazes are drashtis in most forms of Hatha Yoga asanas, practiced with eyes open like in Unmani. The eyes have a very important part to play in the performance of asana, pranayam, mudras and bandhas. Open eyes are doorways to huge distractions and a hyper mind. Correct use of the eyes is achieved through the technique of drishti, gazes. Drishtis refer to 9 points or directions in which we practitioners direct our eyes while practicing pranayam or yogasanas. Last round of yogic breathing. We will now be doing Samavritti Pranayam. This pranayam helps us release stress too. It helps us come back to our base and develop good awareness of our breath by fully involving the mind. It is a good concentration exercise and helps in forgetfulness. Anxious, hyper people need to do this daily twice. It gives a feeling of balance to the mind, decreases fear, and is good when we are anxious and have trouble sleeping. For Samavritti Pranayam now, we inhale to a count of 8 and exhale to a count of 8. It can be done by using the abdomen and abdominal breathing, or thoracic, or ujjayi, or a combination of all. Inhale to a count of 8, exhale to a count of 8. Samavritti Pranayam is a mental count, not the pulse beat. Equal breath. Last round, Samavritti Pranayam. Ratio 8 is to 8. And now, with the help of Soham thoracic breathing, we wake up fully energized, away from all those stresses, completely relaxed. On hearing the sound so, we inhale, taking awareness from throat pit to navel. On hearing the sound hum, we bring awareness from navel to throat pit. It will be a deliberate inhalation and exhalation. So it will be full and empty lungs, and hence some thoracic movement will happen. So hum, 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 so hum. Discontinue all practices. Straighten the legs if they are still bent at the knees. If they got straightened in Soham, that was fine. Watch the immense relaxation of doing an energizing and vitalizing pranayama after doing several variations in pranayams that we do in Shavasana. Prepare to come out of Shavasana by collecting your legs, lifting your arms up, interlocking the fingers. Pull yourself in opposite directions in Yashtikasana. Inhale fully. Normalize your height. Exhale completely. Bend the left knee. Turn to the right. Bend the right knee. Hug both the knees in the fetal position, making a pillow of your right arm under your ear. Dig your nose between the knees. Press the knees into the abdomen. Press the thighs. Use this small area in the fetus position. This area we used in our mommy's wombs for 9 months. And then placing and pressing your fingertips of the left hand on the floor or the mat, gently roll up in Sukhasana. To know that we cannot come up abruptly from a sleeping, lying down Shavasana position in the bed. Always practice this turning technique. Slowly open the eyes and rise. Thank you all. Hari Om Tat Sat.